Hey everyone, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, we are going to be resetting for August 2023 in a Journal With Me style video. I migrated into this particular journal back in July, and I will have my mid-year reset Journal With Me video linked in the cards and down below. But for this video, we are going to be finishing up my July in review spread and moving into my August spreads. I've got my little to-do list on a sticky note right here to remind me of everything I want to get done in this video, so let's hop right into my July reflection. For my remembering section in my July review, I always leave space for a Polaroid picture, which I print out using my Fujifilm Instax printer, and it just Bluetooths right up to my iPad, and I'm going to print out this cute picture of me and my dog from one of our trail walks that we've been loving this month. I'm going to paste in that picture with my Tombow tape runner, and we're going to add in some highlights of my month right next to the picture in those highlighted gray spaces. So my memory is absolutely atrocious, so I like to reference either my gratitude log or my daily journal to remember some things to write down that were a big part of my month, like my many Maine vacations with my family, attending my friend's wedding party, going out to lunch with a friend from college, etc. And after writing all of that, we are going to be moving on to some things I've been loving in the month of July. Full transparency, I didn't know I'd be adding this spread into my reset video, so a lot of it was already unfortunately filled out throughout this month. So I'm just going to pause my screen and take you through this section right here of some things I thought should be noted that I've loved this month. The first thing is Threads, which is an app that's basically Instagram's version of Twitter, and that came out in the month of July. I used to love Twitter back in my high school days, so this revamp has been really fun to play around with and post some life updates. I've also been enjoying walks on the trail near my house pretty much every morning with my mom and my dog Genevieve, which has this river my dog can stop at to get a drink, which is really nice, and we've been walking about 3 miles every morning, give or take, which has been amazing. Next on my list is my Crocs. I never thought I'd be a Crocs person, but I got these at an outlet store in New Hampshire this summer, and I've been loving them ever since. And lastly, I have Farmer's Market because I've loved going to the Farmer's Market most weekends this summer to scope out the fresh produce and homemade soap and homemade candles and all that good stuff. One movie that I watched in July is Barbie, and I'm sure that did not come as a surprise to anybody because it's been so crazily advertised and talked about. Overall, I think the movie was very well put together, but I think I left the theater a little confused and overwhelmed, so I actually want to go back and watch it again. For TV show, I put Mermaids, which is actually the Teen Nick show H2O Just Add Water, which came on Netflix, and I also have it on iTunes that I bought when I was a kid. So I used to religiously watch the show as a kid, and for some reason my sister and I have wanted to watch it again this summer for some nostalgia. And it's so funny, whenever we're spending time together, we always look at each other and say, "Want to watch Mermaids?" So that's where that came from. Lastly, on YouTube, I for some reason have been watching a lot of Sims players like Lil Simsy and James Turner, who are playing with the new Horse Ranch pack. I feel like everything I've been watching in July has just been super nostalgic for me, and I've been loving it. I read 2 books this month, one physical book and one audiobook. I read the physical copy of Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I think it was honestly my favorite book that she's wrote. I talk a little bit more about it in my reading journal update, which I'll have linked in the cards and down below, but I gave it 5 stars. I also listened to The Huntress by Kate Quinn, which is a historical fiction book about a pilot in World War II tracking down a woman responsible for killing her friend during the war, and I actually gave this 4 stars, so I had to fix it in my journal. For my listening to section, I've been listening to the Luke Combs concert set list all month long to get ready for his concert that I went to, and also Taylor Swift's Speak Now album. And speaking of Luke Combs, we are going to create a concert memory spread for his amazing concert that I went to in July. If you know me, you know I've been in my scrapbooking bullet journal era, so I found lots of Luke Combs Gettin' Old tour inspired backgrounds, logos, and concert pics that I printed out on sticker paper for this spread. And I also broke out my Instax printer again to print some of my own Polaroid pictures that I took at the concert with my family. So when it came to laying everything out for this memory spread, I knew I wanted this big black and blue background to be at the top with some pictures, and also that huge Luke Combs logo to be kind of the header of this spread. I think my biggest piece of advice when you're making a scrapbook style spread or anything that has to do with layering a lot of things in your bullet journal is to cut everything out and lay it out how you think you want it to look in your journal, and take a picture of it so you remember where everything is. I'm starting out with sticking everything down on the left page where my set list is, and by the way, this is definitely not all the songs on his album. It's missing a few like Fast Car, Love You Anyway, Hannaford Road, and everything like that, but I didn't feel like finding and printing out a different one, so we're just gonna leave it. And I'm also breaking out my neutral planner boxes from Mojo Jojo Plans to write the date of the concert, the location, and even journal a little bit about my concert experience. On the right side of the spread, I'm sticking more of my sticker paper images down and glue taping all of my Polaroids. And then that big space with the little hourglass and the 5-leaf clover, that is going to be where I'm going to put some of my favorite Luke Combs song lyrics. I definitely couldn't fit in as many journaling and lyrics into this spread as I wanted to, but I still think it came out super cute. After creating this memory spread for July, we are now hopping into filling out my monthly spreads for the beginning of August. So to get ready for the new month, I'm referencing my future log in the yearly spreads of my bullet journal to write down any events and birthdays happening in August and my monthly dashboard. On the to-do list side of the dashboard, I'm writing any tasks that I need to get done this month. And then in my focus section, I'm writing any goals I have for this month, which is continuing to apply for jobs, cutting my spending because I've been spending way too much money on things that I don't need lately, and also working on a new hobby of mine, which is crochet. After finishing my dashboard, we are moving on to my calendar spread, which is where I'm going to be doing something a little different than my mid-year reset. So instead of writing all the events twice, I'm going to put a present in each day where there's a birthday, and I also put a heart on my cousin's anniversary, just because it's easy to flip back and forth to see that there's a birthday marked on my calendar spread, and I can see whose it is on my dashboard. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it works better for me in my spreads this month. So now that our August monthly spreads are filled in, let's start setting up my tabs and my first weekly spread for August. So I realized I never made a video showing how I create tabs in my journal for my weekly spreads, so I thought it was about time I shared how I do it. First, I go through and mark 10 dot grid space sections going down the page, and for the top and bottom tabs, that includes the very top and very bottom rows of that page. Then I'm cutting about 3 dot grid spaces in towards the page, except for the section where I'm going to make a tab for each spread. And you can use an X-Acto knife or scissors. I was kind of going back and forth between the two because my hands were too shaky from my coffee to cut a straight line with my scissors, so I was just kind of doing what works for me. I I took out this white grid washi tape to be the background for my tabs, and the yellow washi tape is going to be the color of the tabs themselves. So I'm laying down that white grid on the far left and far right sides that are visible wherever you flip the pages with the tabs to give it a layered look. As for cutting the tabs into the shape that I want them to be in, I start by cutting the first column of dot grid spaces off completely, and then I create these diagonal cuts going from the edge to about 2 dot grid spaces in towards the middle of each tab. I'm finishing off the tab setup with adding a strip of yellow washi tape so it covers the front and the back of each tab and cutting it down to size. And if you want to make tabs in your own bullet journal, I know how stressful all the cutting and measuring can be, but I do love how these look pretty and are super functional for my weekly spreads in the end. Now that our tabs are all set up, let's hop into my first weekly spread of August, and I'm using these stickers from Pretty Little Studios. This is the Feeling Fruity Journal Kit, and I actually have a discount code for Pretty Little Studios for being a summer rep for their shop, and that's CMCG10 for 10% off your order if you want to save some money on her amazing stickers. I'm setting up the layout of this weekly spread, and I pretty much do the same layout every week, and that's essentially dividing each page into 2 sections across and 3 sections down to create a 2-page spread of 12 sections total. 7 of those sections are for each day of the week. 2 of those sections are for an extra long box to make a to-do list for the week, which I usually keep on the right-hand side. And the rest of the spaces that won't be taken up by any written tasks are taken up with decorations. This has been my weekly spread formula, if you will, all year, and it's really working well for me as it gives me all the space I need for my tasks, and it looks super pretty with all my Pretty Little Studios sticker kits. So I'm finishing up adding a bulk of the stickers layered into the empty sections of the spread, and also some in the daily task boxes to balance everything out, and even write important events in some of the little note looking stickers. Also the little green paint looking sticker with the pineapple piece at the top of the to-do list, I was supposed to write to-do list in that section and just completely forgot. But that is my first weekly spread of August completed, and that actually completes all of the spreads I needed to do in order to reset for the new month. We are wrapping up this monthly reset video. Please let me know in the comments down below if you made it to the end of this video. Leave a pencil emoji, and also please let me know if you want to see more monthly resets throughout the rest of this year. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, please don't forget to check out my bullet journal social medias. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!